Yeah, here we go. I'm back again. So I bet, I'm thinking I better go ahead on and do this. But if you don't understand, hopefully when I get this phone straightened out, because, everything is by the tripod and everything, it's a phone I use. And it will have problems. But remember, blood clean through Jesus Christ. Now, with the body, it goes down. You don't keep that beautiful figure like we had before. We can't go on for years and years. Go on for years. Lord allows us on this earth, and that will take work to maintain, to keep. But it's still gonna go down. Still working on this place down, and of course, degree is where that degree is good for earth. Now, no one's saying that you can't go to school and be all your all and try your best and make it to the highest degree possible, and it looks good for your resume, and then you make it to a six-figure salary. Remember, you cannot take that to heaven. So what's more important here? You got to take care of this first. This. And we have the flesh that we can feel is tangible, we can see. The spirit we cannot, but it's in us. That's what makes us alive. Now, what I want to understand when it comes to we're made in God's image, we have a heart, and a heart, everybody's heart, is on the left side. Now, if your heart is not on the left side, then there's a problem. Okay? Make this more on the left. Okay, if I turn this way. So, I'm so silly. But anyway, our heart is on the left side. I said my blood is, well, my blood's been washed away. My sins have been washed away by the blood of Jesus Christ. Not because I was doing good, not because I did something wonderful. No. Nothing we can do. Nothing. It's through Jesus. So, now, that means the black person has his heart. Let me see, I can't spell. The white person has his heart. The Spanish person has his heart. The Chinese, the Indian, the whatever national, Iranian, which is, has their hearts on the left side. Their blood is the color of red. Everybody's color is red. Our hair might not be the same because, if you're white, your hair tends to be fine. Fine hair. Some of us, we have fine curly hair. Some of us have fine full hair, fine straight hair. And of course, some of us have kinky hair, not straight, not fine, just kinky. But anyway, we all have the physical shape. Our shapes are not going to be the same. Some of us are fat, some of us skinny, some of us tall, some of us short. But we still have the same blood flowing. There's nothing surprisingly different about us. We didn't choose our color and raise our hands and say, yes, we're this color. Yes, I want to be that color. Yes. And God didn't ask us if we're going to be rich, if we want to be rich or poor. Of course, we say we want to be rich. We would all say that. So we don't have a choice. We didn't have a choice. God designed us. He designed us. Okay? He made us who we are. He placed us. He has this design and this destiny for us through him, not without him, through him. Once we find out we're beautiful, we're like, I know, I'm so beautiful. We just go nuts over ourselves, all right? And we change our course. Mm-mm. I love this statement of Judge Judy. Beauty is fleeting, dumb is forever. So we don't want to be dumb. We want to take care of this. No, can't do it after. No, it's gone. After the spirit leaves this flesh, you can't say, yes, I'm for Jesus. You gotta do it with the whole package. Okay? So, now, this applies to all races. God created us in his image. Now, with this, I hope everybody got that, because, all this talk about race and this, I think you don't understand my feelings and all this stuff. Everybody has feelings. Everybody has opinions, feelings. Everybody does. And nothing's going to be right because of sin. We're here. It's not about a black and white when it applies to sin. Sin has that blanket. Falls in the blanket of sin. And people keep saying it falls in the blanket of color or hate or this. It's sin. It's sin. If you can rewrite it and try to design it so perfectly, and everybody, you can take as many people as possible that say, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, and you don't apply it to sin, what went on to George Floyd, or to any of those black people that were killed, like Amadou and many others. God applied even to slavery. If you don't apply that to the ultimate, that's sin. That's the ultimate. Sin is the ultimate. No one attacks that. Okay? No one attacks that. You gotta attack where the source is. So you go to the source, is the sin. The blood, the sticky stuff that's in us. Who can wash it? Now we pray, we go to church and all that stuff, and you don't apply to God's word when he says his son, Jesus Christ, wash that away. And we only mention God, but not the Son. We're going to leave Jesus there. God is the way. Yes, he is the way. But through Jesus. That's the way to the Father. Now, I can only show you what my freehand. And as a little girl, I'm going to try to draw this. Okay. Try to get this in my vision here. How I'm going to make this. This right here, and I'm going to try to demonstrate. Now, in my childhood, there was a lot of I'm like I say, I have field lines, and I'm going to do field lines. Field lines help me. These field lines get me where I need to go, okay? So I need to try to draw this. What I'm seeing in my head, I need to apply it to the paper. So if you're I'm trying to battle. This is a battle. Okay, it's a battle. And it's in my head. First of all, let me do this. I'll see if you know what I'm doing. Of course, what I am doing, because that's important, don't you think? All right. Now, I'm just placing right now. Just placing. All right. And let me see here. There we go. See how it works. Now you see it and say, what is she doing? I don't understand. Let's try to apply this. Okay. Now, I didn't always have the wonderful childhood like every girl, wanted to have. They want to have this, they want to have that. Some kids had, of course, way more than us, way more. I mean, we were like slum, and it wasn't a happy, when you got to that point where you knew that you were like slum, it it didn't make you feel good. So I'm trying to make this this is a hair plait. My mom used to do our hair in threes. I always wanted a ponytail. I wanted piglets. I'm not ponytail, but piglets, I wanted those. I used to see kids have their hair like that, and I just thought that was the cutest thing. But my mom said, no, you're not getting hair like that. So I had to comply, right? Now, here, many times I had real long hair. So my sister, she and I had both long hair. She was fairer than me, of course, and her skin was very fair. Yeah. So when people saw her, they thought, say, who's this girl? And that girl would be me. Who is she? Why is she, and of course my sister didn't say, well, oh, that darky right there is my sister. No, she didn't say that. She just, I was very skinny back then. Today, now I'm not terribly big, but I could stand to lose myself to get even close to where my husband saw me. I could stand to lose 20 more pounds. But anyway, because when he saw me, I was just very skinny. Not as skinny as I was when, I was a little girl, but but skinny. And I like that. I mean, I didn't make a big deal of it that, it was bad, but it was okay. I used to think of myself as, a klutz. I still am. But I used to think of myself as that because they were kids, I saw those little short kids, right? And those short kids would be picked up. They were easy to be picked up by some guy. They could lift them up, in the air and stuff like that. And I no, not me. I didn't feel like I could be lifted. No guy could lift me up because I thought of myself, even as skinny as I was, I thought of myself as this kid that was lanky and, too lanky. So he couldn't pick me up. They couldn't, there's no way they can do those things to me that I wanted done. Like they did to that girl, they picked her up, and me, they couldn't pick me up because I weighed too much or I was too lanky. I did. I was like, I mean, I was older than this, where not. But I'm saying, like in high school, they picked up this girl, and I always like that, just to pick you up and lift you up in the air and stuff like that, and put you back down safely, of course. I'm not saying that you're not safely placed back down, but yeah, it's okay. But then I can picture myself being very sad, not because I couldn't be picked up or anything like that. It's just because I just felt that things were not the same for me as it was for my sister. You know, you could say a little selfish, but we didn't have a lot of money, and we were, you know, I knew how to draw, um, and sometimes I would draw my feelings down. I would draw pictures about how I feel and and what I'll be happy with. I used to make a book about it's just things, my thoughts of what I was thinking. I used to make those, and they were private. They were very private. They were for me to look back on, I suppose, and you know, say, oh, how silly I was. Well, I left and off those books, but I still remember those books I made. It was like a homemade book. I made it, and I would say little wordings in it, and just expressing myself. And some kid, got a hold of that book. I think I said that right. My cousin, because I left it at my grandma's place, and my cousin found the book and he took it to school. And there was a big crowd looking at something. I didn't know what it was they were looking at, but I had this suspicion that they were looking at something of mine. And I said, I hope it's not something. I just hope it's not. Because I know what my book was missing. I couldn't find it. And I said, I hope this is not. They're looking at something. I hope that's not the book. I just hope it's mine. I said it to myself. I hope it's not the book. And sure enough, it was the book. Because they were looking at me, and then they would laugh, and they'd look at me, and they would laugh. And I saw that book, and I yanked that book out of their hands. Give it back. And some of these kids were a lot bigger than me, but I wanted my book back. You have no right. And my cousin was, he didn't look at me as with respect. Those cousins, you say, oh, he's my cousin. I love him, and and he'll protect me, because I, basically it was just sisters. I didn't have a brother. Well, no brother I knew, and and she, I thought of, yeah, it would be nice, because you saw that, you see him in movies anyway. The cousin loves you, and he's protecting you like, you know, you're his sister and stuff like that. And he would not do that to you. He would do this. He would say, oh, cousin, I have your book. Let me give this book back to you. Yeah? That wonderful? Not my cousin. So anyway, I forgive him for that. Because, it just kind of hurt me, because they looked at my private thoughts. It's like they are laughing at my private thoughts. I would actually draw a picture of my butt, okay? I would draw a picture of my butt, sit on a piece of paper, draw it, and then make pockets and stuff like it's my butt, But of course not naked, of course. No, I would not sit on a piece of paper naked. That's nasty. But I just sat and I just trace it and say, hey, these are my jeans. I'm sitting down. I make my cute little pockets, and you know, and go from there. But that was just me. That's how it cheered me up. It did. It really did. But of course, this was way after that. Way after. The story behind this, it was a lot of, frustration for me. It's a lot of frustration. Of course, a lot of kids have frustration. I have kids with, that, I watch, and, every kid is not, of course, not built in one little container and in one mode and say this is how that person's going to be, this is how that person is going to be. This is how it's hard for kids today. It's very difficult because they have a lot of resources. That's why it's hard. For me at that time, maybe because I didn't get like maybe an ice cream cone. Maybe I didn't get the ice cream cone I wanted. I might try, maybe the ice cream cone that I wanted, maybe, the contents of the ice cream fell out, and there you have it. There's an ice cream cone spilt on this ground, and it's gone. I can't enjoy this ice cream, right? It's gone, right? It could be that I have a teddy bear here, and this teddy bear happened to have an arm that has been torn off. All right. So it needs sewing, right? So it can be repaired. You have teddy bears, it can be repaired, it can be replaced. But sometimes you can always, if you're poor, you can't always replace those replaceables. Or the doll that I remember. I love that doll. I can still draw her. Is a blue jean doll that my mom gave, and she made it. And she named it. Did she name it? I think she named it. And she named it Diane. And there, Diane. Diane seemed like she was in the perfect shape, perfect, So I liked that doll, Diane. It was a blue jean doll. And my mom made a dress for it, and I lost it. I didn't know where. I cried so many times for that doll. I did. So my tears were, of course, reflected toward me. It's all about the me. I'm unhappy. Oops. I'm unhappy. So since I'm unhappy, it matters to me. Of course, if you're unhappy, it matters to you. And mine was a source of lots of stuff that I just didn't understand, and or some wrong thing because I was too klutzy, or a lost thing, and so why me? And so and it affects you through your years. It does. It affects you. Now, also, what affects you is bullying, being bullied for a lot of stuff. I was bullied. I was bullied because I don't know why these kids bully me, but like I said, we have long hair, and kids just thought that was the loveliest thing. You have your long hair. Of course, I didn't keep, over the years. What you do, you cut it, and then you want to style it, and then the long hair is gone. They don't want to get the way it used to be anymore. But anyway, um, kids wanted, back then they wanted you to take a loose your hair and they'll style it and then put makeup on your face. Truly, yeah, put makeup on your face. Let you can't wear earrings because our ears were never pierced. So they would just try to say, well, oh, we can't put this earring in your ear, but they'll try to make up some kind of makeshift earring so you can put in your ear and stuff like that. Well, I think we caught into that once, but not again. Mm-mm. My mom, oh, she was so furious. We come back home, our hair is messed up. My sister, she had lipstick on her lips. Oh my goodness, that just made my mom so angry. Mom said, "Don't you ever mess up your hair again or wear makeup. You're not allowed to wear makeup." And we couldn't do it anymore. So the next day, the kids quite naturally they're excited. Oh, look, okay, let me style your hair again. Of course, no, can't do it. Come on, just no, can't do it. Come on, put it right back the way. No, can't do it. Couldn't. Don't want to do it. Don't want to get in trouble. And of course, that went sour. That relationship with those kids, it just became like we were thought we was too good for, to just talk to them or to for us to play for them to play in our hair. We thought we was just too good. Y'all think y'all this, y'all think y'all that, you're not. And that wasn't even it. We was trying to obey our parent. And of course we want our father to get involved, because our father get involved. He was there, father get involved, he would don't want to go there. And so it was just us, kind of trying to find our way. kind of find our way in school. And of course you had cousins. Of course I didn't know, had cousins that had gone to school with you. You didn't know that we went to school with you, but they were your cousins. And so you meet this, and you want to think that this is your friend because you're kin to you, and that's your friend. Mm-mm. So that didn't work, and he just got constantly bullied. And then there was when she got older, you had that, since it's Louisiana, you had that light factor, dark factor, and it's still prevalent today. I don't know why people make such a big deal of it, but it's still prevalent today. The whole issue of color. What made me mad is that, I didn't have an issue. I did. Well, I won't say I didn't have an issue. I did, because people always related to me to my mom, because my mom was dark. She was a dark lady, and she wasn't black dark. She was just dark brown. And and she was just, I look like her. And so people just related instantaneously out of the womb. Yeah, that's yours. She's yours all the way. Because why? Because I wasn't the same color as my sisters. And so I was always her. And I could see the resemblance of my mom in my sisters. I could see it. But don't you let me ever say it. Because they'll correct me and say, no, that's your father all the way. Yeah, they would do that. It's like, your father wasn't even involved with you, because you just like your mom just spit you out and that's it. Well, it's like that made them more special than me. And I would get upset over that, And I say, I just want to look like me. I don't want to look like my mom. I don't want to look like anybody that you could say I look like. I just want to look like me. I had that attitude because it just made me upset. Because the things they would say, I had attitudes when I was young. I just hated it, despised. And still, they kind of gets to me because I said, oh, I thought that, you look more and more like your mom. Yeah, well, you said that already. You've been saying that for the longest time. And they still say, of course, my younger sister still looks like my father, which is not true. People mistake my sister for me all the time. I'm in Louisiana. People say, Tamika, or they say, is that your sister? And is that Bernadette? Is it always, always? And I say, well, how in the world can I look like my mother? If my sister doesn't look like my mother, she looks like my father. How is that? And I asked that question because I said, you need to get it right. What they were looking at is the color. They were looking at the color. So it made me feel so dark. It made me feel like I was just so far dark from my sisters, and they don't know the impression I had for me. It's like, I would cry at night because of that. I would cry because I felt like I was so separated. Like I was separated. And I hated it. I just wanted to be included. I did. I wanted to be included. And I wanted to feel like, yeah, oh, definitely. That's your sister. Like that. But anyway, that was me. And I would cry. But this, of course, this is older. I would cry when I was younger, but I would cry directly. Anything that was directly toward me. So I used to cry. People didn't see me cry. I didn't want people to know that I was crying. I didn't want people to know. Because you don't want to be pitied. I hate pity. I mean, some people do like pity, but I loathe pity. You want to pick yourself from off the floor and you want to go for the gusto. You don't be in that pity situation. Because pity, people always look at you like you're pity. They'll always pity. If you're poor, you'll always be poor to those people. You always will be poor. If you were, some guy happened to slash you down and hit your face, and even if you're no longer with that abusive relationship, people still will look at you in that abusive relationship and pity you. Nobody likes that. You can be successful. You can be, just at the top of your scale, have that degree. People will still remember that time when you were not, that way when you were at your pitiful state. That's why I don't like pity. Because pity doesn't grow on from there. It stays the same. Pity always stays the same. People still relate to you at that pitiful point. They can't see past that pitiful point that you were in. You didn't want to be in that pitiful point. Nobody does. But in their mind, oh yeah, you remember? Isn't that shame? So I didn't like it. I didn't like the pity. I didn't like anything dealing when people come to me and say, oh, yes, I remember you when you were, and that's another thing. They remember you when you were this age. They don't look at you as you are now. They remember you at this stage. That's in their eyes. Remembering you here. You want them to know you this way, not that way. You want them to know you this way. You've become, you know, you're not the same anymore. You didn't stay in that pit. You were in the pit. I remember I found you in the pit. You remember you found you in the pit. You were so pitiful. You were dirty, and I soaked you out. I took you out of that pit. You were still in that pit. It's insanity. I'm serious. It's insanity. But if that relates to you, people, I mean, don't let it discourage you. It has discouraged me many times. And, I try to, what I do is I reflect on God. I go to Him. I'm serving Him. I'm not, that's how they see me, like that. That's how they see me. They don't mean no harm. I mean, unless they're picking at you. You were. No. I don't think they mean any harm when they place you in there. This is, it's almost like you don't know how to talk to that person as they are now. You can't talk to them. You can relate to them then when they were like that, but you can't talk to them now. It's almost like when I tell you, when I'm at church, and when we first got to our church, it was it's a predominantly white church, and what annoyed me, I'm in Christ. I'm loving Christ. I love Christ. God made me this color. He loved me just the way I'm. He chose me, and I was so happy about that. And we go sit by maybe an older white lady, and they'll look and say, they'll look at you, look at you first, and they'll say, well, hi there, and they'll see, trying to be encouragement. Hi. And I say, hi, how you doing? And they say fine, and pretty much sometimes it doesn't go on from there. They just shut down. They don't know what to say to you. They don't know how to speak to you. And this one lady, she was just struggling how to have a conversation with me. And I said, I was speaking this in my mind. I said, this is so ridiculous. Seriously? I had one lady that says, she started off nice, and she started off, like, yeah, I'm going to speak to this black lady. I'm going to speak to her. And I was looking for my Bible, and she was looking for something in there. It was lost and found in our church. And I said, wow, there's one that's speaking. But then I looked at her, and it was like, what did it feel like? It didn't feel like it was natural. It felt like, it's almost like she took a course and she knows the subject. Seriously, it looked like that. You don't know the whole subject. You don't know. You don't have a degree in this. You just have a subject. You pass this subject. You know this subject, okay? And then she says, I have a friend like you. Like you're kind. I'm like, that shut me down. I was shut down when that lady said that. And I just left, because it was so discouraging that she would say something like that. I mean, what?